GoGos, Our Lips Are Sealed. One of my personal favorite GoGos songs. They had several really cool songs. CBT guitar lesson for Kathleen. Kathleen, great taste in music, obviously. And it's your second GoGos CBT lesson. So this one, real interesting, Kathleen. A few things, because I always research these. I look at live concerts for hand placement, and then I have to make a decision. A lot of times bands change tuning when they play live. This is a prime case of that. Really interesting though, because I actually first thought it was flat tuned. And then, I was watching the videos and, they're playing, they definitely change it live. So, anyhow, when they recorded this, they were in standard tuning with the capo on fret 1. I'm going to call the chord names out for you like you wanted, but I'm going to call them to where you'll be more familiar with them. So if capo's on fret 1, that's going to be an open. Right here is fret 1. This is fret 2. If you're used to your dots, that's the reason I'm telling you. It could be a little confusing. If you've always played G, knowing that your middle finger's on the first dot, blah, 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 that's different now. It's offset by 1 fret. So I'm calling them as if there's no capo on it, okay? As far as their chord names. So a G5, that's just a G power chord, which they use a lot. Capo fret 1, 1, 2, 3, 3rd fret on the low E, 5th fret on the A. We're palm muting 7 times, and then do an open E string palm muted. That's just a transition note to get to the F chord. So G, F, play that the same way with that open, and then a C, 3rd fret A, 5th fret D. This one is played 16 times palm muted. So I'm just going to call them G, F, and C. Technically it's a G5, it means it's a root 5, which means it's a power chord. There's 4 or 5 different names for these. We're just going to call it G, F, and C. G, F, C, G, F, C. You'll see on the 4th time, it'll say star, which, or 4th time, the X, which means palm muting, is only there on the first 4 on that last chord, the C chord. In other words, it's a build-up. You'll be going, and you'll hear that in the song as it builds. Okay, then that moves us into section 1B at 33 seconds in, and this is an E major, 1st finger, 6th fret A, 3rd finger barred, 8th fret D, G, and B strings. That's how I like to play this. Sometimes I will use my pinky. There are times I've crammed 2 fingers in there, and sometimes people cram 3. That's just too ridiculous for me. If you have the real skinny small fingers, yeah, that can be done. But experiment. There's not a wrong way on the fingering. Okay, but it is a type of a bar chord. Check it by arpeggiating it first, which just means picking the strings that involve or in this chord, which are strings 5 through 2, A through B. And when they're clear, strum it. 2, 3, 4. Okay, this next chord is a C sharp major, or C sharp. If someone says play a C sharp chord, they're implying it's a major. Okay, that's barring everything fret 8. All right, and then we're going 10th fret A, 3rd finger, 10th fret D, pinky, and 9th fret G with the middle finger. It's like an E major chord in there. You probably, I don't know if you know this, bar chords they're tough, but once you get them down, they're all pretty much the same. I'm hearing it on every string except the high E. If you hit the high E, that's fine. Actually, no, I've got the high E in there. Take this chord shape, move it over to fret 4 for the root. So, boom, that's going to be our A major. It's the same shape. 5th fret, 7th fret, 7th fret, 6th fret, 5th fret, 5th fret, covered with the bar. Okay, and then back to the first shape we used, but this is called a D sharp or D sharp major. 6th fret A, index, and then 8th fret D, G, and B, I'm going to bar. And then strum. So that gives you, and in music these are called whole notes. 1, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I love those chords together. Section 1C, 40 seconds in, all palm muting, all power chords. G, C, and G. 3rd fret, top string, 5th fret on the A string. Palm mute, you're going to go 8 times. And then same thing, just drop down a string to 3 and 5, A and D string, that's a C. That'll be 8 times. Come back up to the G 16 times. Okay, so G, C, G. Remember what I said about the palm muting? I know you liked how I was telling you how to get that surfish sound by picking back by the pickups. Johnny Cash, a lot of players. Well, actually not a whole lot, but within surf, folk, they'll do that, and it just gives you a twangier sound. It's really cool. So palm muting. I think I mentioned this in your last CVT. This much movement can make it choke out. That don't sound quite right, huh? So I'm gonna move it right back. You should feel the metal off your bridge touching your hand. Alright, so series of repeats come in. The next new part is section 2A at 1:30 in. This is the bridge. And it's based off of G major, 3rd fret E, 2nd fret A, strum the top 3 strings, 3rd, 2nd, and open, and have a finger on 3B. And this is what you're looking at here. Oops. I'm messing it up. Strum, then that's done. You won't have to do that again. And all I'm doing there is open D, open G, and 3rd fret off the B, which is in that G chord. You're going to do the double dots from the first set of dots to the second, means you're going to be repeating it 5 times. There's 1, and then there's 2, there's 3, and so on. Series of repeats after that. Then we hit section 2B, 2 minutes 29 seconds in, more palm muting and power chords. This is the last section of guitar 1. You wanted both guitars. G power chord, a C power chord, back and forth, palm muted. So 3rd fret up top, 5th fret A, palm mute 8 times. Same thing on the C. Do all of it 3 times. And this may help you to count, Kathleen. I don't know if you just memorize it and just hit it 8 times, but theoretically speaking, or if you were reading this in traditional music, you'd count them as 16th notes, which basically means 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. That's a measure of music, getting to 4. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, or however your mind needs to count that. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. As long as you're playing it right. And then just hit the G chord without palm muting at the end. Okay, guitar 2, top of page 3. You'll hear it 9 seconds in, fret 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Middle finger, no, third finger. You're going to pick that, pull it off to the 7th fret, and have your middle finger sitting on 8th fret B. You're going to pick the high E, take this finger, pull it off. Pluck it, don't just lift. A lot of times with stuff like this, and this is where players make mistakes, they'll lift, and you'll kind of hear it, but pretend this is a pick, and pluck it to make that behind note ring. And you're going to do all of that 4 times, because you'll see double dots. It's just an overdubbed second guitar. Okay, at 40 seconds in on the second guitar, you'll have a bar chord G major from the top string down, 3, 5, 5, 4, 3. Okay, you're going to play it 2 times, but do it staccato. Go. And then the C major, 3A, 5th fret, D, G, and B, twice. Back to G. So it's 2 times on the G, same thing on the C, and back to G 4 times. 47 seconds in, this is an overdub. Always like this, it's just in the background. It's 15th fret on the B, 16th fret on the G. And you can use whatever fingers you want. You can go 1st and 2nd, 2nd and 3rd, whatever you're feeling. It's a hold, so have them both down and go B, G. Oops. And then 13 and 14, just move the whole thing back 2 frets. 12 E. And then you'll go to this part. Oops. And then you start it over. Might be better to go 2nd and 3rd. And then you can go. Anyways, that'll be 2 times through at the 47-second timestamp. 229, you're going to do, the measure will kind of ring out, and then you'll hear this guitar come in the background. That's a C major, 1st finger 3A, 3rd finger or whatever fingers you want, 5th fret D, G, and B. Just strum it. And I know it just rings through, and then again, and one last time. And that comes in at 229 in your tabs. So those timestamps, I know from talking to you via email, you know, you're more of a visual learner, which is cool, because I'm the same way. But say you're lost in a little part of it, you can come over to your tabs, not only look at the sections that are broken down, but my point is, if you look at the timestamps and you say you're having trouble hearing that part, especially in a second guitar part where it's not the primary, right? It's layered in the song, and it might only be for a little part of the section or the verse or whatever. That timestamp will get you in that area, so you can target in and then listen for that. So there is obviously some ear involved in this. That's what tab's really about. But then again, guitar is anyways. So utilize those. Chord-wise, you know, this is kind of similar to This Town, right? We got power chords, palm muting, and then we got this mix of throwing in the bar chords. If you're struggling with bar chords, be patient, take your time with them, remember to arpeggiate them. And squeeze this neck together, you know? Have your thumb maybe down to the middle of the neck. Sometimes that helps. or off to the side like that, but act as if you have to squeeze the neck together. Where people lose it is on this end on a bar chord. The finger starts coming off or whatever, so you can curve it, go off the edge of it a little bit, and you'll actually get calloused along here. So anyways, thank you so much, Kathleen. Enjoy these two. I do hope that you're enjoying these and want me to do some more Go-Go's for you when you're ready for them, or whatever you want. But take your time. It sounds like you're a beginner from what you said. Work slow, and then do push yourself to try and get things up to speed. Use the song on YouTube once in a while when you feel like you've memorized the song or a few parts, and see if you can keep up with the actual song rhythmically. That's very, very important. That'll be your band, basically, so you know what to strive for, and it'll help you keep in time. All right, thanks again, Kathleen.